What threatens your faith in God? Can you remember something that happened to you that severely tested your resolve to serve and to follow Him? How do you maintain faith in the face of the severest of tests? The story of the three Hebrew youth in Nebuchadnezzar's furnace comes to mind as a biblical example of severe religious test. Let's unpack the story a little to see how we may gain some tips in keeping our faith focused and strong. First, this story follows the previous chapter of the king's dream. There, a multi-metal image was featured, with Daniel identifying only the head of gold as Nebuchadnezzar. It seems from chapter 3 that this was a bitter pill for the king to swallow, that he would be followed by a series of successively degraded kingdoms was a major blow to his ego. Hence the image in chapter 3. But this is not made of different metals. It is just of gold. It's as if Nebuchadnezzar refuses God's view of the future. All the officials of all the nations making up the Babylonian Empire were commanded to attend its inauguration ceremony. This sounds an ominous note. At the Tower of Babel, all people were there to construct a monument that would make God redundant. But here on the plain of Dura, the same thing is happening. The presence of a burning furnace is sinister. Attendees at the inauguration ceremony were invited to bow down to the image or else. The thinking at that time was that people who were burned were thereby prevented from entering and resting in the afterlife. So this industrial-sized brick kiln had an opening at the side, a hole in the top through which to drop anyone who displeased the king, to ensure that their end was an eternal end. We see a modern parallel in these descriptions of state pomp and fiery punishment for nonconformists in Hitler's ideologies. He, like Nebuchadnezzar, wanted his Reich to last far beyond his lifetime, 1,000 years, and he was prepared to send millions to the furnaces to achieve that goal. Nebuchadnezzar was so sure of himself that he was convinced that no God could deliver any transgressor from his hand. You know the story. When Nebuchadnezzar threw 3 into the furnace, he actually saw 4 people in there walking around as if they were in a garden. This reminds me of an experience of some of my church members nearly 40 years ago. There were 4 of them in a yacht that hit stormy seas, and it was so bad they had to get into a life raft, and they were tossed around for days until eventually picked up by a merchant ship that was diverted to rescue them. The captain, in welcoming them aboard, asked them where the 5th person was. He had counted 5 on the raft and was surprised when only 4 clambered up into the ship. That is our assurance in this story of the boys in the fire. God does not promise to always deliver us from the fire, whatever that may be, but He does assure us of His presence throughout the ordeal. As Job said, "Though He slay me, yet will I trust in Him." And David said similarly in the 23rd Psalm, "Even if I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." As in the previous 2 chapters of Daniel, when faced with crisis, those who concentrated on themselves fade from view. But those who stick with God and continue to trust Him are exalted by God. So we can do this. Let's not focus on the fire, but on the one who is with us, whatever our circumstances. That is how to maintain faith in the severest of tests.